You want to hear content about the Philadelphia Eagles and the Philadelphia 76ers? That's straight to the point, no nonsense, no over-the-top shenanigans. Say what we got to say and keep it moving. Then you made the right choice coming to Nikki Steve's channel, so stay tuned.
All right, YouTube, let's get straight to business with this one. Those of you that saw my video yesterday, you saw I promised that I was going to talk about what the Sixers should do in the buyout. I'm going to talk about that first. I'm going to give a grade of the Eagles' free agency. Okay, Eagles were obviously in cap hell. They had to make cuts. We weren't going to really do much with it, but we did make some moves. We got our backup quarterback. Wasn't the main option I was expecting, but we did get our backup quarterback nonetheless. Got a few guys. We got Anthony Harris on defense. We got Andrew Adams on defense. We did try to bring in Adoree Jackson, but that didn't work out. He signed with the Giants. And also, the Giants did sign Kyle Rudolph and Kenny Galladay. So they're building up on the offense over there. And we have a decent amount of wide receivers. We restructured some players' contracts. We structured Jason Kelsey, Brandon Graham, so we could keep some of these guys. And also, though, we did lose Lane Johnson to the Browns. I guess you had to realize it was coming. You knew some guys were going to go. Zach Ertz, we still don't know what's going on. And maybe Zach Ertz is staying. And you really trust Howie Roseman without having that leverage to pull off the right move. You're hoping maybe with leverage, Howie at number 6, Howie would have the guts to go for more key need at wide receivers, such as a Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, and Devontae or Smith, which I've said thousands of times. Yes, free agency. I mean, we did get under the cap. It's good. We did sign some positions in need, but then we made a decision with the draft that really has me concerned the Eagles are going to botch this draft as well. A draft where the Eagles must hit. No, and I did say I was thinking about doing a mock draft. I'd been talking about a little bit in February, which I still plan on doing that. But, I'm going to switch gears now to talk about Sixers. Now we're going to talk about what I wanted to talk about, the buyout market. And I do think the Sixers, we got to make a move on the buyout market at some point. We got to get something at. Because you saw what the Nets did, getting LaMarcus Aldridge. And I made a video yesterday about super teams in the NBA and how it seems like anytime you think one super team's gone, there's going to be parity. Yet here comes another one. It seems like this happens all the time. This is something that most fan bases are not happy with. It seems like the only time anyone's happy with super teams is when it's our team that forms a super team. And for those of the Sixers, we haven't been lucky with that. I still stand by that. But with the way the Nets are going, we do need to get something in the buyout market to get another guy to help us compete with the Nets. And pretty soon, the Joel Embiid is going to be coming back. And you've seen the way Sixers played without Joel Embiid. If our team stays in that form, we have Joel Embiid back. Ooh, we're going to be giving some other teams problems in the East. We could be potentially contenders and threats to the Nets. So if we keep playing the way we're playing with our bench, without Joel Embiid, with Joel Embiid returning, meaning the bench stays in stay form. Sixers Nets, it's going to be on. But any note, so the buyout market. So there are potential options the Sixers could get on the buyout market. Obviously, Otto Porter Jr. is another one that's been thrown around. If the Orlando Magic do decide to buy him out, which it sounds like most likely that's not going to happen, but if we're lucky enough to see where that does happen and we can get Otto Porter Jr., that'd be a great fit because he's a guy, of all the guys I see on the market, best player that when he's active, definitely get him. And he could really, he's a guy that can shoot as well. So he can add some depth to shooting and obviously add some depth to the roster. He can still play. So that's a good thing. He's still in his early 30s. So he still has some time left. So if we were to get, say, Otto Porter Jr. and it works out, then we could sign him for a few more years. And he'll still have a few more years left in the tank. So that's potentially a good thing. However, it doesn't seem likely. It's possible by the time this video will be uploaded, it will broke publicly that they're not going to buy him out, referring to the Magic. We'll find out with that. But I'm still hoping that it could happen. And maybe Otto Porter Jr. could work out. Be a good fit with the Sixers. There's one I'm hoping that happens. And then you got another guy who's been with us before, Mike Muskia, center of the Thunder. He was with us 2018-2019. He's a veteran. He's familiar with the team on the roster. He played with Simmons. He played with Embiid. He's played with some of the guys on the Sixers before, so if we were to bring him in, he could be a familiar guy. And with what's going on with Dwight Howard getting ejected from a couple games, That could at least create some depth at center, which is helpful. Potential option, but definitely not the best option out there on the buyout. If we do get anything on the buyout, realistically, we're only going to get one guy on the buyout. And there are other options out there. Wayne Ellington from the Pistons, we could get him on the buyout. There's Boogie Cousins from the Rockets, but yeah. I'm not really feeling that one. Boogie's injury history the past couple years. He doesn't really seem like a good team guy. And I don't want to take the risk of Boogie coming in and throwing off the chemistry of the team. Although Boogie probably might want to come to the Sixers because he sees it as an opportunity to go after a championship. Then again, I just don't know if he'd mesh well with the team. I don't think he's not really a great team player. Of course, you got Jabari Parker from the Kings. Another guy could potentially be Hassan Whiteside. Now, Hassan Whiteside's a guy, he's a guy that can actually be productive on the court. So good Hassan Whiteside could potentially be a good guy. But then again, you're bringing in another center that could potentially throw off the dynamics with the centers on the team, possibly. Then Embiid, Howard, and then Hassan Whiteside. But then again, Hassan Whiteside could be another good depth piece. Potentially, if Dwight Howard gets injured, Dwight Howard continues to have trouble staying in game. Then again, we're only saying that based off, let's be honest. It comes to mind when, based off what Dwight Howard getting ejected from a couple games, these concerns always come up. And anytime these concerns come up, we always say, hey, well, we could get this guy at this position, this guy or this position. So that could also be a spur in the moment. But Hassan Whiteside, these guys could be good additions, some of these guys. Hassan Whiteside, Otto Porter Jr., we could get some of those guys. And we were looking to get Larry Nance Jr., but that's not going to happen. We were one of 6 other teams looking for it, along with the Celtics and Knicks, but obviously that didn't happen. Cavs are going to make sure they kept them. There's potentially guys we could get out there. We could get at least one guy. Even if it's a solid bench piece guy, Wayne Ellington, Jabari Parker. Of course, there's Otto Porter Jr. There's obviously numerous guys I named that we could potentially get our hands on the buyout. But I feel like we have to try to go all in on these guys. And if we only get one guy out of these guys, hey, so be it. But I think we should at least put our efforts all in to get what we can get out of this to answer to the Nets signing LaMarcus Aldridge. I think we should go all in, on all these. Go all in on possibly Otto Porter, Jabari Parker, Hassan Whiteside. The reason I'm saying go all in on trying to get these guys is, okay, maybe you only get one guy out of all these guys possibly available. But if you get that one guy, you could use that as an extra piece, a guy that fits well at the Sixers to answer what the Nets have been doing. Then that can help us out come playoff time. Actually, come playoff time, got to compete against the Nets. So I definitely do think we should go all in. And like I said, most likely and realistically, we'll only get one guy out of that. But hey, we can get that one guy. That can make a difference and help us compete. As far as Joel Embiid coming back goes, hey, this team stays. The team as a whole, especially the bench guys that have been playing in Embiid's absence, keep playing the way they're playing. Like I said, you bring Embiid back, we could potentially do it this year. This could be the year. Now, if Embiid gets injured, we're not winning a championship if Embiid gets injured. We could put up a run in a fight, but we're not winning a championship with Embiid getting injured. If he gets injured again, Embiid comes back. He's got to stay healthy. The rest of the team's got to play the way they've been playing in order for that to possibly happen this year. And that's all I really wanted to say about this. To everyone that watched, as always, thank you for watching and supporting the channel. Hit the like button to show your support. And those of you that are new that are watching me for the first time, you haven't subscribed, do so and hit the notification bell. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the Eagles' moves in free agency, what you think the Sixers should do on the buyout. And most of all, to everyone watching, have a wonderful night or day. Nicky Steve signing off, and I'll see you for my next vid.
You like that straight to the point mentality? No nonsense, no shenanigans? Hit that subscribe button, because that's what we do on this channel every video. Straight to the point, no shenanigans, no nonsense. If that's what you want, then you better hit that subscribe button.